the white tortoise and the orange hare. Robert, the white intercity passenger train, is the fastest locomotive on the Redcliff and Guinea Bridge Railway. All day long he runs up and down and all over the railway, picking up and dropping off passengers at each station. He hardly ever gets tired out, even though he gets up very early each morning to go and collect his passengers and take them to work. Just watch. He's going to get up really early to go and get his passengers. There, you see, it's early morning, and Robert is getting up very early to go and get his passengers. See, he never gets tired out. And off he goes on his first run of the day. And he doesn't get back from his last run of the day until quite late at night. He only gets about 8 hours of sleep each night. But regardless, he still hardly ever gets frustrated or stressed from his busy life. Just as long as he is happy, he won't let Mr. Eric down. But the happiest Robert has ever felt in his life was one particular sunny day about 1 week after a new locomotive arrived on the railway. And at the time, Robert thought it would replace him. One day, Robert was feeling especially happy. Suddenly, he noticed that the points were set against him. He had no choice but to stop. What could possibly... What on earth is going on? These points aren't usually set against me on this fine day. Suddenly, Robert heard a horn that he'd never heard before in his life. Then the rails began to rumble and a strong wind began to pick up. Then Robert heard a faint and fast clickety-clack, almost as if something was coming towards him. It got louder and louder and louder, and then, all of a sudden, a streak of orange shot right past his eyes. It rattled round the next bend and disappeared, and then everything went quiet again. Rattling axles! What was that? Robert soon found out. Later on, when he pulled into Redcliff Station, he saw what had caused the orange streak standing in the bypass loop at the station. He stopped in the platform to drop his passengers and went over to see what it was. Who are you? Glad you asked, Robert, said a familiar voice. It was Mr. Eric. Robert, this is Vitesse. He is a high-speed passenger train, just like you, and he has come all the way over from France for trials. If his trials are successful, then he will be here to stay, permanently. He will then be starting his very own non-stop high-speed passenger service between Redcliff and Guinea Bridge Junction. I'm sure he'll be very reliable and will be here to please all of our passengers. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going back into my office to do some paperwork. See you later, Robert. And with that, Mr. Eric disappeared into his office to do his very important paperwork. So, you're the one known as Robert, eh? Indeed I am, and you must be the one known as Vitesse. So far, I am liking it here, but if you and your friends better not ruin it for me whilst I'm here, okay? Okay, but equally you had better not steal my passengers and my reputation on this railway, and you had better not replace me either. Ugh, fine. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm off on my next test one. Au revoir, lobby boy! Ugh, arrogant show-off. Later that night, in the loco yard, all of the other engines had seen Vitesse travelling fast around the railway, and were very impressed by his high-speed technology. You're incredible, you're very fast and modern. I know, you look like you'll be capable of speeds of up to something like 200 miles an hour. 200? On this railway? You'd end up in a field if you tried that. Isn't there some high-speed rail project that's happening right here in the UK that's going to enable speeds of up to 200 miles an hour possible? Oh no, don't even bring that up. Oh yes there is. Oh no, now I see directly where this is heading. It's a little thing I like to call don't H stop S. If you say one more word, I swear to God I'm going to scream so loud it's going to make your fuel tanks 2. We are very sorry, but Train Lover 16 Studios is currently experiencing technical difficulties. We do not know how long it's going to be to repair these, but please be patient as it might take a while. Thank you for your cooperation. Yes, go away. I'm recording. You just had to take this conversation to the next level, didn't you? Why even reference that pointless and overexpensive project after all? Oh, I mentioned it deliberately, just to annoy you. Well, don't ever do it again. It's a horrible idea. Oh yeah? Well, I think it's an amazing idea. You take that back right now! Never! Yes, sir! That's not even a word! Hey, you two, can you please quit your shenanigans? That topic is not important right now. We're talking about Vites. He's going to steal my passengers, I just know it! No, I won't. I'm just here to start a very important non-stop express passenger service. Yeah, and you'll be stealing my passengers in the process. I will then be sent away from here and scrapped. No, you won't. Yes, I will. No, you won't. Yes, I will. No, you won't. Yes, I will. Quiet, please, quiet. Thank you. Now, I have come down here tonight to make a very exciting announcement. Douglas Pump, the famous billionaire, and his wife are coming to our railway on a very important visit, and they have asked for a very special train to take them for a trip around the railway. And I think that it is only appropriate that Vites takes the train to our special guest to see our newest and fastest engine. Me? Take Douglas Pump, the famous billionaire? Yes, sir! Of course. The only reason Mr. Eric has chosen you is because he thinks you're 10 times better than me. Of course he does. Even if I do steal your passengers, I will still be far more reliable than you will ever be. No, I won't. Yes, you will. No, I won't. Yes, you will. No, I won't. Okay, that's enough, you two. I know just how to settle your argument. Now, I don't usually approve of this sort of thing on this railway, but I think it's our only option. I think the only way to settle your argument is if you both have a race. Really, sir? A race? Yes, Robert. A race. 4 o'clock tomorrow at Redcliff Station. The winner will receive a brand new coat of paint. Get prepared and be there. Now get some sleep, you two. It's going to be a very busy day for both of you tomorrow. Good night now. I'm off home. Bring it on, loser! The next day at around 3:30 p.m, the very important passengers arrived. Mr. Eric greeted them warmly by the hand and told them a little bit about the railway. Shortly afterwards, Vites cruised slowly into the platform and stopped to welcome them too. Then the very important passengers got on board. They had their own personal bar attendant too, to give them drinks whenever they wanted any. Isn't this exciting, Douglas? Having a race on a train with another train? I know, my dear, it really is exciting. Then Robert arrived for the start of the race. Good afternoon, Vites. You ready to lose? Ha! In your dreams, slowcoach. Back in France, I was the fastest train of my type, capable of speeds of up to... Okay, I get it. But I'm still going to win. Alright, Robert and Vites. The race is about to begin. But first, let me explain a few rules. There will be no cutting, no cheating, no blocking the line, and no pushing or shoving. Well, that's all from me for now. May the best engine win. Good luck, Vites. You're going to need it. Okay, but just to let you know, I am not going to lose today. Well, we will soon find that out, won't we? Okay then, let the race commence! Ready? Set. Go! But at last he reached the top. He could now see Vites in the distance and tried as hard as he could to catch up with him. Vites had to stop at Guinea Bridge Junction. Douglas and Helen wanted to buy some tea and cakes from the station cafe. Robert was soon in view of the station. "Hurry up, slow coach! We can't have you finishing too far behind me!" But some of the passengers had heard about the race and they all cheered for Robert. This made him feel very happy and confident, and so he accelerated away down the line. But then Douglas and Helen finished their tea and got back on board. And Vites was off again in the flash. He roared through the junction and up the other track. "I'm the fastest and best. I'm the fastest and best," he said as he raced through the junction. Later on, Vites had to stop again. Douglas and Helen wanted to take some photographs of the countryside. Douglas set up his camera. Vites was feeling rather tired, and he slowly and softly closed his eyes. Meanwhile, Robert was passing over the junction just west of Redcliff. He had almost won the race. Later on, Douglas and Helen had just finished taking photos and were back on board. "Vites, this is your conductor speaking. It's time to be off again. Let's go." But nothing happened. Vites was dreaming of victory. He didn't hear the conductor's radio call. "Vites, this is your conductor speaking. It's time to be off again now." But still nothing happened. "Vites, please wake up. It's time to go now." At last Vites woke up. He started to panic. He was worried Robert was going to win, so he took off at what seemed like the speed of sound. But when he got back to Redcliff, he realised that it was already too late. Robert was already there and everyone was cheering for him. He had officially won the race. "What took you so long, slow coach? I thought you were one of the fastest trains in the world." "Oh, the sheer embarrassment and anger of it all." That night in the loco yard, most of the engines were rooting over Robert's victory. "Congratulations, Robert! You really are a real credit to our railway." Agreed. You may be slower than Vites, but as we all know from the famous story of the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady wins the race. You're too righty. You're far too right. Quiet, please, quiet. Thank you. Today, Robert was the winner of the big race. So for that, Robert, you have definitely won your new coat of paint. We are all very proud of you, Robert, and you really have been a true credit to the railway today. Very well done indeed. Vites was proper sulky in his siding that night. He didn't stop complaining about his loss until deep into the next day. Will Vitesse's arrogance ever wear off? Find out next time on Redcliff Railway Tales. Bum 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 bum, train number 16.